Alright, what is going on, guys? I'm here at Benja City Park, and in this video I wanted to talk about why you actually shouldn't move to Thailand, why you should not pack all of your stuff and literally go all in on Thailand and literally move here. More or less kind of like what I did when I sold all my stuff and moved from New York City and moved all the way here to Bangkok, Thailand. It's been 3 years since, and I do not regret that decision, and I personally think it was one of the best decisions I've made. But in this video I want to talk about some people I think probably should not move to Thailand. A nice view of the city right here in Phrom Phong. This is probably one of the best neighborhoods I would stay at here in Bangkok. So you're surrounded by huge mega malls, a lot of nightlife, a lot of restaurants, a lot of things to do. As I was saying, the first thing is I think many people should probably just stay here for a month or two and then probably just go back home. I mean, as in many people who want to move to Thailand, what they actually want is just to get a break from their same old city, their same old job, just kind of being in this rat race, just kind of being in this hamster wheel, and they just kind of want a break. And when you're able to escape to a place like Thailand or wherever, you get that break. You know, and oftentimes what we need in life is just to get a break. That's what I mean. So if you travel here for a month, travel here for 2 months, then you'll have that break, and then when you return back home, you'll be kind of refreshed up, you know. And I think a lot of people would actually prefer that, because when you live back at your home, wherever you're from, United States, United Kingdom, Australia, wherever, you have a sort of like a psychological base, as in you're already comfortable with everything. You already have friends, you already have family, you know the language, nothing is foreign to you, and you can focus on your life. But when you're thrown in a foreign environment, everything is brand new. And you know, some people thrive in situations like that, and some people, they want familiarity, they want comfort, they don't want this uncertainty. So yeah, I would consider, do you actually want a break, or do you actually want to live and move somewhere? Visiting and moving is completely different situations. Deciding to visit Thailand for a month or two, that's a reversible decision, and if you don't like it, if you kind of get fed up, you can just go back home. But deciding to literally move, oftentimes that can be an irreversible decision. For example, let's say you sell your house, you sell all of your assets, you sell your car, you move to Thailand. What happens a year later, 2 years later, a couple months later, you actually don't like it, and then when you return back home, you don't have your assets anymore. So that's like a irreversible decision. So that's why I say the first reason is some people should simply visit here. So we're right next to the Sphere Mall. This is one of the nicest malls here in Bangkok that just opened. So the next reason why it might not be the best decision to move to Thailand is you should probably focus on your career. For those that are really trying to climb up the corporate ladder and really pursue this like middle class, high class lifestyle in the West, I think it's probably a setback if you decide to move here to Thailand. Not saying that's impossible and it doesn't happen, but for me in New York, if I was working a corporate job and I wanted to really climb up the ranks, what I would do is I would show up to work every single day. I play the game of like the work politics and try to get on people's good side and go to these networking events and try to rub elbows with the right people and really try to climb up that corporate ladder and make acquaintances and make a good face and have a good reputation and play that whole game of corporate work and the social dynamics of corporate work. If that's you, I think remote work would not be the most ideal. You know, you want to be right in the city where you can thrive and really climb up the ranks. And you know, I really think that lifestyle is not for me. I really don't enjoy working a 9 to 5 or having a boss or like playing these kind of like social games and stuff, like these status games, these networking games. Like, it's just all exhausting to me. But I can see why somebody might want to do that, because you know, if you were working in finance in New York City, probably making like high 5 figures, maybe some of them are even making 7 figures a year. You do that for 10 years, then you retire, then you have a sweet house, you have a sweet car, you have a family, and like you're taken care of for the rest of your life. Like, I can see why that's a good decision. So it entirely depends on you, but if you feel like you're somebody who really wants to focus strongly on your career and you feel like doing remote work would be a disadvantage, then I think you should probably stay at your current city and work at your current job and try to climb up the ladder. However, I'm also going to play devil's advocate in this situation. For example, if you're living in a very small suburban city and you move to Thailand and you get a remote job working for, let's say, Google or Facebook, doing a remote work from home job, then that would be a more ideal situation. Not only are you able to remote work from home and move to Thailand, but you also have a very good job that's going to increase your career and have a lot of growth in your career. So it really depends on the certain job and kind of how you see yourself in the future and whether you think remote work is for you or not. They got this gym over here. Got dumbbells, got barbells. Moving on to the next type of person who should not move to Thailand would be the foreigner tourists that only came here for a holiday, as in they only came for literally a weekend or a week or two, and their entire time they were here in Thailand, they spent it either at like Soy 11 or like Nana Plaza or like Patpong or the walking street in Pattaya, or like going to Phuket and doing these like really touristy, really holiday vacation mode. And I'm not saying that's bad, and I think that if you should come to Thailand, if you do come to Thailand, you should experience all those things. Like whatever you want to do, go crazy, you know, experience all those fun, exciting, high energy things that Thailand has to offer. But that's not real life, you know. The way most foreigners and expats live here in Thailand that have lived here for a very long time have a very chill, normal life, just as they would back in the States or back in the West. It's not really that much different, but you're able to do a lot of the things that you were able to do in the West. You can do them here, but in my opinion, everything is a little bit better. For example, the housing, the food, the nightlife, the activities, the people, the nature, like a lot of these things that are accessible in the West, I think they're just a little bit better here in Thailand. So that's what you want to compare your Western life to. You want to compare your normal Western life to a normal life here in Thailand, not comparing your normal Western life to this crazy holiday lifestyle here in Thailand. So if you think about Thailand as this crazy destination with super exciting things, it's a little bit biased, because realistically when you come here, you're not going to be doing all this crazy stuff. And maybe you will do it for like the first month or two, you'll go crazy, but after that, you know, it'll kind of wear down on you. Oh shit, there's a turtle. Check it out, there's a turtle. All right, as I was saying, come here and live a normal life. Stay here for a month, stay here for 2 months, live a very normal life, as in eat the Thai food, try to learn some of the language, try to interact with the locals, try to deal with the very hot weather, the very humid weather, ride on the back of a motorcycle, ride at the transportation systems, go to the different regions, and do the things that you normally would do back in the West. If back in the West your average lifestyle was working on the computer and going to cafes, do that here in Thailand. If back in the West you're going out, working out, eating healthy, doing yoga, doing golfing, going swimming, like doing these things, do that all here in Thailand. Do everything you would do back at your home here in Thailand. Try to have a very comparable lifestyle and compare that. So for example, if you actually live a normal life here for more than a weekend, you're gonna realize maybe you don't like the weather, maybe you don't like the pollution, maybe you don't like how slow-paced things are and how chill and sabai a lot of the Thai locals are, or about how difficult it is to actually get a visa, how expensive it might be, how difficult it might be to have a remote income work or remote income job, and how difficult it might be to actually buy land here or buy a house or condo here, or the ease of starting a business here. Like, you'll have to realize you're a foreigner here and you're always going to have a little bit of a difficulty as opposed to being a local. The next reason you shouldn't move to Thailand is you should actually try to visit the other countries first. For example, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, these are all kind of comparable countries in the Southeast Asia. They're all quite developed, they're all very affordable, have very nice people, have very nice food, have good or somewhat reliable infrastructure, fast internets, beautiful women, good dating cultures, a lot of things to do, good nightlife. Like, you know, a lot of these three countries are quite similar. Like, they have a lot of things in similar. Maybe you end up coming to the decision that you like Da Nang, Vietnam better than living in like Phuket, Thailand, right? Or maybe you'll like Ho Chi Minh better than Bangkok. Or maybe you go to the Philippines and find out how much more convenient it is that all the Filipino locals speak English versus living here in Thailand. I think what I should have did in the beginning is I should have stayed in Thailand for a month or two, and then stayed in Vietnam for a month or two, stayed in Philippines for a couple months, like try to really immerse myself in these different countries and different cities. What I did in the beginning was I moved to Thailand for 2 months, 3 months, and I quickly fell in love with it, went back home to the United States, made my decision, sold everything, and then moved here to Thailand. Not once did I first visit Philippines or Indonesia or Vietnam or wherever. I was convinced and sold that Thailand is the dream home. So no regrets here, but I think it would be a good idea to test the waters of these different Asian countries. Moving on to the next reason. This is not really a reason why you shouldn't move to Thailand per se, but this is a reason why a lot of men, particularly men, leave Thailand after they came here. It has to do with women. A lot of times foreigners come here, they find a Thai girlfriend, Thai wife, and if anything ever goes sour in that relationship and they kind of break up, a lot of times that woman was the reason they were here in Thailand. For example, just looking at my situation, one of the strong reasons I see Thailand as my long-term base is because of my Thai girlfriend, my Thai relationship. If I didn't have her, or if I didn't have a Thai relationship, I would likely continue be living as a digital nomad, as in be living in Vietnam for a couple months, be living in Tokyo for a couple months, literally being independent and completely free to just go wherever I want and do whatever I want. But that's not to say I would leave Thailand, because I absolutely think it's still going to be my base regardless. But yeah, that is something to know, particularly if, you know, if you're the kind of guy that is quite easily exploited by women, as in you don't know how to look out for the signs of women that are trying to exploit you or use you. There's a lot of horror stories, particularly of older white men here in Thailand, where they essentially go broke because of these manipulative Thai women. And these Thai women are experts, right? And I'm not talking about ordinary average women here. I'm talking about women who do this for a living, or like who really kind of prey on foreign men that have money. Like, I'm not talking about your average Thai woman, okay? I'm talking about a very specific kind that you'll see everywhere in the world, to be honest. Yeah, and it's just like super unfortunate. You see these stories, you hear these stories of like these foreign men losing literally everything because of some very socially savvy, pretty Thai woman. The men only want them for sex, to be honest, and the women only want them for money. So I'm specifically talking about those relationships where the men only value the woman because of her looks, and the men kind of have this urge to like save them from the go-go bar, save them from the red light district, and try to be like this hero, provider, protector character, and the woman only sees the man as somebody who can give her money and give her things. So it's not a relationship based on love, it's a relationship based on what they can get from each other. And yeah, they've just had like terrible experiences here in Thailand and they become super bitter, but that's not actually how it has to be, you know. All of this was not a reason why you shouldn't move to Thailand, by the way. This was all kind of like stories I hear of why a lot of men do leave Thailand or don't like Thailand because of their biased experiences. The last reason, which also kind of has to do with women as well, is if you cannot control yourself. As in, if you're very easy to get lost in the sauce. That's what I like to say, lost in the sauce. If you don't know what that means, it's basically you lose self-control and you let something really consume you. Lost in the sauce doesn't just refer to women, it refers to any vices or anything of which it's too much is going to cause harm. So it could be getting lost in the sauce from money, getting lost in the sauce of work, getting lost in the sauce of drugs, alcohol, sex, hedonism, materialism, consumption. You know, anything of too much can oftentimes be very, very destructive. Thailand, oftentimes you can really lose yourself, especially if you have no self-control. You can get addicted to drugs, you can get addicted to alcohol, you can essentially get no work done because all you're doing is partying and the next day you're hungover. I mean, I think it's okay to do this stuff if you're like here for a weekend or like just very short period of time. But I think that if you live a life like that here in Thailand, you're ultimately going to find out how empty it is, how shallow it is, and how unhappy you might feel at the end of it, right? And it's also kind of hard to escape. You know, I talk to a lot of my guy friends, and when they were single, we all have similar stories of like, yeah, we're just like going on a bunch of dates, like just as this kind of like going crazy. But then we realized it's actually didn't fulfill us, didn't give us any pleasure at the end of the day, and it's much happier being in a committed relationship. Um, but I'm not saying don't do any of that stuff. I'm just saying it's like you can't do that for a long time without burning out. I mean, I think maybe some guys can. Depends on your values, to be honest. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. Let me know if you agreed with this video or not. Let me know if you have any other types of stories or any other types of reasons why maybe people shouldn't move to Thailand. But regardless of all of this I've said, I think I absolutely made the best decision moving here to Thailand. I highly recommend a lot of people here move to Thailand. But this video was just some reasons and some type of people who I think maybe they shouldn't move to Thailand. So if you're thinking about actually moving to Thailand and you want some assistance on how to get remote jobs, remote income, how to meet a community, and how to connect with like-minded others, then join my school program down in the description. Basically going to teach you how to actually do this and how I've been doing this for the past 3 years. So click on that if you want to join the community, and follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.